everybody. Welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
And I'm the podfather of gaming, Stephen Bonacore.
I almost said welcome to the Stress Tower. It has been a week. All kinds of things going on. We're doing the Dice Tower retreat next week and Gen Con's the week after that. And ask us if we're prepared for both of those. So, and then, of course, just life in general working around. But, hey, we're glad to be here with you all today. And also, if you've missed it, we have Dice Tower West registration open. So if you want to come to Dice Tower West, all you have to do is go to dicetowerwest.com and register there. I am. So, Mr. Bonacore, you're in Vegas right now, I heard.
Vegas, baby. Vegas. That's right.
So tell us a little bit about the hotel, the Rio. I'm sure you've been there before.
I have been in the Rio. Never stayed in the Rio. It's massive. It's really nice. Definitely step up from other places that, we did it in the Westgate, right, last year?
The Westgate was fine, but the Rio, fine. I've stayed there. It's better.
Rio is really nice. Great dining options. They've got some just interesting wine bar there, things like that. But it's a really beautiful place. I think that it's got massive amounts of rooms. It's where they conference rooms. It's where they hold the World Series of Poker every year. So it is seriously a huge establishment on the Strip. So I'm very excited about it. I literally booked my hotel room this morning. I'm here in Vegas. Here, I'm gonna go check it out. Folks,
the hotel block is already 50% sold out, so do not delay. Get the rooms. They're really good rates, and I just stayed there a couple weeks ago. Really nice rooms.
I can't
Here's
believe
other good
the rates
news.
you had, by the way. The rates are amazing. So
yes. Well, good on Tim for setting that up. So here's a thing for you all. We have a contest going on. This is a contest for a game called Korra Rise of an Empire. I really enjoy this game from Yellow. We'll be actually playing this live in a few weeks here on the channel. But we have 5 copies of this game to give out to folks in North America. All you have to do to enter this contest is to email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word Korra. That's Khora. And while you're doing so, you're invited to like their Facebook page. So go check out their Facebook page for Yellow. That's IELLO. And check out this game. So Korra Rise of an Empire, 5 chances. You guys got a good chance to win this one. So there you have it.
Nice.
I think that's it for now. We got a game show. Mr. Bonacore wants to continue his losing streak. So let's get to some contributors, and we'll be right back.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, today we're talking about Dice Forge. As the name suggests, what you're doing in this game is you are actually building these dice. You are basically have a chance to start with these weak dice. You get to pop off some of the faces of the dice, replace them with stronger and stronger faces, so that way next time you roll them, you have a chance of getting that better result, getting more and more resources. You're using those resources to either replace even more dice faces, or there's cards that you can build to give you special abilities and a lot of victory points.
Let me just say I'm really impressed with the component quality of this game, because when you just think if you're popping something off and on, it's going to wear and tear and it's not going to work. At least that's what I think, because we have children and that's how toys work, is they just can fall apart, right? But it's like a Lego piece, as I just complained about kids' toys, but it's like a Lego piece on how it goes in and goes off, and it actually doesn't, at least we haven't discovered that it wears and tears at all, and it stays on, doesn't pop up. I was skeptical, and now I'm a believer.
I am a big proponent of good inserts, and this had a great insert because there's so many weird little pieces. First of all, the dice faces themselves needed to be all stored in a way that they didn't, fly all over the place. Plus, there was a bunch of different tokens, the dice themselves, cards that needed to be sorted in certain ways. This insert did a great job of doing all of that, so that way, every time you open the game, you're ready to go. You're ready to play. You don't have to sort things out.
Yeah, so this was a fun one that I really liked. I preferred the higher player count. I just like seeing all the stuff that goes on there. And you can like you get to roll extra in the 2-player game, but you don't get to boot people out of places as much. And so, I mean, it's a little mean, but they get to roll their dice, so it's fine. But
Right.
you get to do that more often at the higher player count.
Yeah, this is a fun one. I liked it a lot. It was unique and a lot of fun.
Well, everybody, we are Ryan and Bethany from Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Hello, my name's Jonathan from Board Game Opinions, and in this series of segments I'm giving you some tips on how to teach a board game. And this week's tip is provide examples. Now, when you explain a concept, it's one thing to explain the theory, but a lot of people won't get it unless you give them a practical example. Some people's brains are wired for abstract general principles, and they like having the principle and they can apply it themselves in any individual situations. But other people will not get principles at all. You give them a practical example, then they get it. That's what they really need. They need to see it happening in front of them. On your turn, you can move your merchant up to 2 spaces orthogonally between the tiles. If you drop off or pick up an assistant on that tile, then you can take that tile's action. Make sense?
Not really, no.
Let me give you an example. Here is my merchant. Underneath him are all the assistants. So I could move 1, 2. You can't move diagonally.
Oh, I always wondered what orthogonally meant.
When I get here, I can drop off one of the assistants here. And because I've dropped off an assistant, I can take the action of the caravansary.
Oh, well, why didn't you say that earlier?
You may have noticed, but in these series of teaching tips segments, each time I've given you a tip, I've given you an example to help ground what it is I'm trying to convey. Now, essentially you're just repeating the information, but repeating the information helps people learn things better, but it does so in a way that's not boring. It feels different, it engages people, and that really helps with your explanation in terms of retaining people's interest and getting them to learn what you want them to learn. All right, hopefully that helps. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's jump right into some 20 questions. This game is exceedingly easy. We're going to be going back and forth between our 2 contestants here. I have a game I'm looking at right here on BGG. You can ask me on your turn 1 question, any question you want. I will answer that question to the best of my ability. Then it'll be the next player's turn to ask me a question. To guess the game, you need to ask, is it X game? And I will say yes or no. If you get a yes on that question, you win. And we move on to the other player and a new game. First person to get 2 games wins the whole thing. That's all there is to it. Again, you can ask whatever you
For
want.
2 questions, I'm just going to pick 2 random games and I'll get them right.
That works too. You can
This
just
is
guess.
this is really easy when it's not 7 a.m. Pacific time. So
We'll
I
start, with
don't
very
have
broad things then, you know.
I
Just
don't
look
have
at
a
your
lot of
game
confidence
collection
in
in the
my
background.
Yeah,
Look at the games that are around you.
I'm going to start with Tom. Tom, go ahead and go first, please.
All right, I'm going to give you a good hint here, Mr. Bonacor. Mr. Z, is the letter Z in the title of this game at all?
It is not.
Really? Really? That was so easy. Let me try this one, Tom. Are trains a major part of the game?
No.
All right. See, I gave it. It's a big, broad swath right there. Got rid of it.
All right, Z.
Yes.
If I own this game, no. This is a realistic question. And I was a painter. Could I paint some of the stuff in this game?
No.
Ooh.
If you were a painter, could you paint some of the stuff in the game?
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but traditionally speaking, no.
No.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Do animals play a prominent part in this game?
No.
Is it strictly a card game?
Yes.
Oh. All right. Is it trick taking?
No.
That was my next question, actually.
Great minds.
Has it been released in the past year?
You can also just ask me like what year it's from. You can ask me any question. Does not
I
have to
got
be yes
that.
or no.
I'm
Oh,
not
I thought
trying
it was-
to give him the answer.
It's not yes or no? I thought it was yes or no. Okay.
It is not yes or no, but you need to get a yes when you
All
ask me, is it this game? That's
Right.
how you win the point. You can ask me anything. You could ask me, what year was it released?
Okay.
Who's the designer? Who's the publisher? What is the title even? Which would be really stupid because the other guy is next. But the question was, what now, Tom? Has it been released in the last year?
Yes.
From right now?
Yes.
That's going to be a no then.
All right.
Is the game more abstract than thematic?
No.
All right.
What
see-
is that so? Why is that funny? There are cards
No,
that
it's
are
funny
that
because
have,
we're
like,
still
theme,
asking him
like
yes
real
and no
theme.
questions.
Yeah,
All right,
you're
Z,
being very cautious. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So
Z,
what the
how
answer to that
many-
was? Wait. What was the answer to? Is it more
It is
abstract?
not more abstract than
Okay.
thematic.
Z, how many
Okay,
words
so
are in
it's
the
more
title?
thematic.
How many words are
Oh.
in the title?
Not,
5
not
words
cool.
are in the title.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, that's not good.
Guess if it's no
what-
thanks.
What's the main color of what's the primary color of the box?
On the box,
What's the primary color scheme of the box?
I can tell you the color
know,
that shows
primary-
up the
biggest
most
color.
on the box. I'm looking at the box right now.
Yes.
You're asking me what color shows up the most?
Yes.
Good luck with this hint. It's yellow. Yellow orange-ish.
Okay. What's the player count for the game?
1 through 4.
Is
Did we
the
lose
theme-
Bonacor?
He's thinking.
Of course, is the theme fantasy?
Yes.
Oh. I still have no idea, but
What's the game length?
Game length says 45 to 90 minutes.
Ooh. It's a longer game. I'm about to
Steven?
start asking the easy questions. I'm gonna try to.
Again, if you have an inkling, you can just be like, is it this?
Yeah, but you said that is there a demon-looking creature on the front of the box?
No.
Okay. I had an inkling on what it was, but it's not 5
Let's
words.
get more
so
broad. Who's the publisher? Who's the main publisher, I should say?
Fantasy Flight Games.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Steven?
Is it based on a major media IP?
Is it based on a major intellectual property? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes. Major intellectual property.
Yes. Tom.
We suck.
No, you guys are fine. You're just being cautious. You don't want to give the other guy the answer, right?
Oh man, I still don't know. I think he has a leg up on me here, because the word count is the one that's throwing me.
Yeah, it's completely throwing me. No, trust me, I have no idea. I thought I was
All
giving
right, what's
you.
the first? Okay, no, let's not do first. What's the last letter of the whole game name?
Oh my God.
It's an E.
Yeah, that's so good, Tom. That's so helpful.
Steven.
Is it based on Star Wars?
No.
Is it Call of Cthulhu card game?
No.
Is it Lord of the Rings, the living card game?
No.
That's what I thought earlier, but that's not
But it's
5 words.
It's too many words, I know, but I don't know how he's
All right,
counting.
who's the
what card
designer?
game.
Who's the designer?
Who's the designer? Let's see. There are several designers. I will name them all. The designers are Michael Boggs, Nate French, and Caleb Grace.
Oh, yeah. All good buddies of mine, and I have no idea. Does it come in a... What size box does it come in? Small, medium, or large?
Oh, I mean, like Fantasy Flight. That's a hard question to answer. Like Fantasy Flight large? That's like quite large.
Well, they don't make those anymore, really, but sort of. Is it, is it Ticket to Ride would be a large size box?
It's slightly smaller than that.
So medium-ish.
All right, is it Marvel Champions card game?
Yes, it is Marvel Champions, the card game. Marvel Champions.
I cannot see the box for Marvel Champions in my head.
It's got a bunch of people flying in from the side, and there's some fiery stuff on the back, so it's mostly orange-yellow, but there's a lot of color on that box cover.
I bet Roy guessed it like 10 times, 10
There's a lot
guesses
of
ago.
comments that have had it for a while, but that's okay. You're not supposed to be looking at that. So, Tom, you have 1 point.
You
Here
called
we go to the
you called it
next
fantasy.
one.
I dispute that answer. Go ahead.
It's not fantasy?
Oh, superheroes.
It's fantasy.
Never mind.
Fantastic.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, I've got another game here, Steven. This is a brand new, clean slate. Forget everything you heard so far. New game. Go ahead and ask me.
Oh, I get to go.
Tom just wins, so it's back to you. We just go back and forth.
What's the player count for this game?
The player count for this game is 2 through 4.
My first question was going to be, is there a solitaire mode?
And again, I'm going purely based on BGG here, folks, if I'm looking at their data.
Right.
Does this game have miniatures?
No.
Who's the publisher?
The publisher is Red Raven Games.
Oh, that really narrows it down.
Really, really narrows it down.
I might just guess a game here and see if I'm going to take a wild guess at it. I think I will. Is it above and below?
No.
Oh! What's the other big game? Is it
you're trying to think
near
of
and
Masters
far?
of Madness.
What did you say, Steven?
Is it near and far? Is it near and far?
It is near and far.
I thought Z would go with the less popular one. I was like, I won't guess near and far because that's too.
No, these can be just as popular as they want because again, I'm not trying to hide these from you guys. You just have to be careful what you ask me.
All right,
there
it's tied up.
It's tied up. We have one more. So go ahead and that was Bonacor. So Tom, you are up.
Same question as in the first one. How many words are in the title?
1.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, it narrows it down to half the games. That's like when I played Guess Who. My first question was always, is it a male or female? You know, you'd ask that so you could take down half of them.
That's right.
Is it a card game? Card game.
No.
Primarily.
You're looking at the BGG, the Board Game Geek entry, right?
Yep.
What's the weight of the game?
The weight of the game is 2.04 out of 5.
Okay, so it's fairly low.
Steven?
Primary color of the box.
Black.
I don't know why that's so fun. Black? All
No,
right.
I like
know
the
why
question.
that's
It's
so
fine. I'm enjoying it. That was a laughter of enjoyment.
Okay, I'm glad I can amuse you like a clown.
Hey, you said that part. What year was it published?
2019. Is Steven stuck or
The
thinking?
game
There, he's
have
thinking.
miniatures? Did you
Yes.
not hear me?
I heard
Does
you
the
that
game
time
have-
when you just asked me now, does the game have miniatures, right? Is what you asked?
Yes, I did.
Yes, it does.
Ooh. I was expecting a no. I was expecting a no.
Who's the illustrator?
Oh my
Good
gosh.
lord. Illustrator. Illustrator would be the artist.
Yeah, the artist. Sorry.
Prospero Hall is what's listed on BGG.
You know it? You
No,
know it?
narrows it down.
What's the BGG ranking?
Its current ranking overall is 168.
Wow.
Is it horrified?
Indeed, it is horrifying.
I got that because of your primary color there, Mr. Boddicker.
Ladies
Black.
and gentlemen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Have a winner, 2 entries, and that is the game. Well done, gentlemen. Nice way to dance
What
around
do I
some of those
win?
entries.
What do I win?
What do you win? You win your own copy of the
All right.
4th game that I did not get to in case I needed it. I don't see how I could have needed a 4th, but that game is Phase 10. So I'll be giving you a copy of that.
Win the copy
too
that's in
sweet.
your library.
All right, there we go, everybody. Let's go ahead and check out some more contributors. We'll be back with some news.
Hi, this is Ambie from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about Ambagabus, a solo tile placement game where you're trying to build an enclosed maze. In the game, each turn you're going to draw a tile and then place it to enlarge your maze. You have to place the tile in an open spot, and your goal is to get it so that there are no more open spots in the maze. But when you place it, it has to be an open spot of the lowest number because each spot is numbered 1 through 4. So if you have an open spot with number 4 and number 1, you'll have to place on the 1 spot if possible. Because of that restriction, it's interesting trying to rotate your placements so that multiple open spots will have the lowest number, so you can be more flexible with where you're placing in future turns. Also, in order to close off the maze, you kind of have to play it so that you'll force yourself to block yourself off, and so that the only legal placement will close off the maze. So there's a lot of puzzly feeling in making the maze. And in addition to regular maze cards, there's also a couple of special cards, like bomb cards and cave-ins that will destroy pieces that you've built. And you have to play those. You can't choose to skip a tile that you've drawn. In the beginner game, you're just trying to finish a maze, but in the advanced game, you go through the whole deck trying to finish as many mazes as possible. So as you get better at the game, you can try to make a bunch of enclosed mazes. Overall, Ambagabus is a fun spatial puzzle game that's quick and easy to play. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz!
It's 1823. President Monroe declares American continent off limit to the European colonization. Congress now looks ahead to their own industrial revolution, like regulating the interstate commerce and setting up charters for the Jersey Railroad and Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. George Washington became the new president in 1828, and the first public railroad construction begins, called the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. Assalamu alaikum. Ticket to Ride is a staple game when it comes to the modern board games, and if you have the original US edition, you can get the American Legacy 1800 campaign book from BGG site with the link shown on the screen below. It gives you a campaign which goes through the history of America, how it was made, the American Revolution, the Industrial Revolution, the Underground Railroads, the Lewis and Clark expedition. So all of those historical things leading up to the Chicago World Fair. This book is going to actually give you campaign, add little bit variants in the game that you get to enjoy while recording your score over the 10 campaigns, and have an educational, entertaining sessions of Ticket to Ride where you get to learn a little bit about how the America revolutionized themselves in the 1800s using the rail system. That's it for me. Happy gaming.
Ooh, what's this?
Oh, that's for me. It's a pie shield.
A pie shield?
Yeah, I know I don't make pies very often, but when I do, I...
Right, you think they're going to attack you. I get it.
Wait, what? Shut up. Hey, hon, what are you doing?
I'm making it better, see?
Why?
Because now it's made out of the tastiest metal on Earth. Vibranium, huh? All right, folks, I've heard your calls. You've said more dad jokes. Check. And you've also been all over social media asking about different Marvel board games. Now, maybe like me, you've been consuming MCU films at a breakneck pace, and you'd like the experience of an epic Marvel adventure on your own tabletop. So let me break down some of the more popular Marvel board games to help you decide which ones belong on your shelf. Splendor Marvel is a competitive, lightweight, abstract engine builder of sorts where you're collecting chips representing the 6 Infinity Stones, and using those chips to buy cards representing the superheroes, which will lessen the cost of future purchases. In theory, you're building a collection of Marvel superheroes strong enough to obtain the Infinity Gauntlet and win the game. But the theme here is basically art deep, as this is essentially just a reskinning of the classic Splendor board game. 5 Minute Marvel, which Tom Vassell points out,
It's not a 5-minute game, it's a half-hour game.
is a cooperative game where players are racing against a literal clock, playing cards from their hands to match symbols on the top card of a villain deck. Now, you get 5 minutes to work your way through each deck of baddies and each progressive villain. This game does give you a feeling of a frantic battle, even if the combat is a bit abstracted, and you do get to play as one of a few specific Marvel superheroes. Love Letter Infinity Gauntlet is a one versus many game where one player is Thanos and the other players are the heroes. Both sides have a small deck of cards which they play against each other, trying to guess who has what in their hands in order to chip away at each other's health. The game is also fairly quick and does give you the feeling of an epic battle. In addition, the Thanos player gets to signify their victory with a satisfying snap. Crap, sorry, I kind of forgot how that works. Anyways, I covered these games first because these are essentially one and done purchases. None of these games have any expansions out, at least as of right now. So if it's an epic Marvel experience and a little taste of poverty you're looking for, well, you'll have to stay tuned for my next episode. Until then, cheers.
Let's do it.
Tom, what's happening?
Tom?
Tom is frozen.
Did he freeze? I think
And
the
we're-
discussion we were having off camera about science fiction and fantasy has indeed broken Mr. Vassell.
Fortunately, he was not.
He's stuck there like the thinking man.
He's closed.
I guess he's frozen.
We'll take
All right,
over.
Well, you know what?
We're much better.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at the news anyway, then, I guess, till he comes back.
That's right. So the first thing up in the news is...
Let's take a look here. All right, let me grab it up and we'll talk about it. So, yes, first thing we already mentioned, in fact, and that is, of course, Dice Tower West. Make sure you are getting your tickets, folks. Registration is open now. Go to dicetowerwest.com. Half the rooms, as Tom said earlier, are indeed already gone. This is opened. So You want to be there. It's going to be a fantastic event in Vegas. We'll all be there, of course. So make sure you check them out. Go grab your tickets, and we'll see you at that wonderful event in a new location, an excellent location from what I hear.
Rio.
All right, next up, we've got an iGames announcement. Announces a settlement, rather. So the settlement game here is a 1 through 4 player game. From a Ukrainian publisher. That's iGames. It's got a gorgeous cover, as you can see there.
Well, everything about it looks really nice.
He's back.
He's back.
Hello?
Yes, I said everything about it looks nice.
Okay, great. Welcome back, sir. So you are a leader who of settlers who have discovered new lands. You're going to use powerful artifacts. You're going to explore terrain. You're going to hunt monsters. It looks like a card game. Looks kind of geometric. There's a board there, but it looks to be driven by those cards on the side there. And there's been a lot of covers, board game covers that kind of do this ethereal, seeing something in something else thing. But this might be one of the prettiest ones I've ever seen that attempt to do something like that. You know, his shoulder is like a bridge, and the crown is a city in the distance and all that. That's great. I love the fact that this looks neat, but also that it's a Ukrainian publisher. Just the world of board games spreading more and more. So I am excited to check this one out. I don't think we have a date as to when this is coming. Correct me if you have that information.
They told me, but I don't remember. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, I'm completely in agreement here. This game looks fantastic. It just looks different than everything else.
Yeah, it looks like my kind of thing too. All right, Tom, you want to take over?
Yeah, I'm just quick looking up. They said it is a finished product, and they're sending it to us very soon. So that's exciting.
All right, I want to play.
All right, next we have King of the Valley, which is a unusual cover for sure. This is from the Game Master, who, when I played their games in the past, I feel like their games are all over the place. I believe they're from the Dutch. It's a Dutch publisher, the Game Master, and you know you have to get the trust of different people in this area to join your side. But that's the theming, but it looks like you're just grabbing tiles and placing them on a board, which may be good, may not be. I'm not a huge fan of this cover, actually.
Yeah, the Game Master is one of those. Go ahead, Steven.
No, it's just kind of that odd cartoony, caricature-like thing. So it's, not a fan, but, don't know.
The Game Master is a company I have not heard much about in many, many years. I didn't even realize they were still publishing things. I've played one of their games. I'm looking it up right now because I forget what it was. From this designer, who I believe owns the company, okay? Hans van Tol. And it is a game I played, again, like I said, about 12 years ago called Hotel Amsterdam. Very unassuming little tile sort of placement game. So it's nice to see that that the company and indeed this person is still around, still making games. I don't think I was a huge fan of Hotel Amsterdam. I rated that a 4, I could see here. But the games, I think the company makes sort of outside of the box kind of games, which is, again, good. They come from a place that's different from what I'm used to seeing. So I like it.
Our next game here has a 4-designer group here, but very interesting here because it's Uwe Rosenberg, Richard Garfield, and then the other 2 designers. The first one is Scaff Elias. Actually, no, this is not Uwe. Why did I say Uwe Rosenberg?
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm looking at this. It's not Uwe.
It's called Marvin Hegan. Sorry, Marvel Hegan, who runs a podcast called Nerd Lab. Forget the Uwe Rosenberg, but Richard Garfield, Scaff Elias, who was one of the first playtesters of Magic the Gathering, and Christian Kudal, who's a computer scientist from Denmark. So this is another CCG game, similar, they say, to Keyforge. There's not a cost to play the different cards here. And so it's, by the way, if I haven't said the name of the game, it's Mindbug. which I don't know if I love that name.
That is a weird title. I see what looks like an orc right there in the middle.
Yep.
And other fantasy creations like superheroes and such, which are definitely fantasy. But I'm not sure I'm understanding the mind bug thing. Isn't really meshing in my head with orcs and goblins and stuff. Yeah, okay, well, it'll make it stand out, that title.
So they're going to release a limited run of the 50-card base set. Will be released at the Spiel Fair in Essen in a month, and then a Kickstarter to come after. So like they're going to whet everyone's appetites. This limited run better be really good.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
I would love to try it out. I think it's a cool idea.
Sorry. They'll obviously get an amazing buzz out of Essen if, assuming people do like it. This will be the first game sold out probably in Essen because of the cred of Garfield on it.
Mm-hmm.
In continuing industry news, unfortunately, there's a piece of sad news, and that's IDW Games no longer exists. Now, this is not the end of IDW. IDW is a bigger company, IDW Media Holdings. They're known for lots of different things, comics and toys and so on. But apparently their game section was hemorrhaging money, and so it's basically gone. Now, the thing I can't find out, I'm still looking online, is how this will affect their last Kickstarter, which was the animated Batman game that we actually played here on the Dice Tower channel. I can't figure out they're still going to follow up with that.
Yeah, I don't know. So, if it's not delivered yet, right?
Not that I know of.
All right. So Ignacy and I have been reporting on IDW Games for years on Board Games Insider because their parent company, IDW Media Holdings, is publicly traded, right? So you can go out and you can buy some IDW Media Holdings right now on the stock exchange. They haven't made money in as long as we've been talking about it, the publishing arm, where the media arm does pretty well. And when I say they haven't made money, I'm talking they've lost millions of dollars over the last few years in publishing. So, and every time I talk about it, Ignacy just rolls his eyes like, why are we talking about these guys that can't make any money? Oh, because it's public. You can actually go out there and check them out and check out this company. Very few companies out in industry are public. So this will be the last story that we talk about IDW Publishing because they are gone. I have a feeling that they will fulfill the Kickstarter. It's very bad company whose subsidiary does not fulfill an obligation. They don't have to, but they probably will.
Right.
Alrighty. Hey, do you have a game design, folks? Ravensburger has Game Inventors Day. You can sign up through September 6th, which is only a few days from now, or until 250 spots are filled. This looks like it's an online event on September 10th and 11th, where you can pitch 1 to 2 game ideas to the company. If they like it, they'll book a half hour with you during the game event to cover your idea in more detail. It's not often we see a company putting out the call for this at all.
Yeah, that seems weird. Are they hurting that much for new games? Is this just a good bit of PR? I don't know.
So are they looking to get pitches for games, or are they looking to mentor young designers? I'm not 100% sure what I'm reading here. It's because very little detail in this. Tom,
I don't know either. I'm not sure. I'm just saying it's an unusual thing for a company to put out the call for designers.
Right.
Yeah. If it's the latter, though, if they're trying to kind of mentor some people, that's kind of cool thing. But it is definitely odd. I mean, Ravensburger is huge, right? They're always on the Hasbro of Germany, just tremendous company. So they have the resources to do something like this. So it's kind of an interesting idea.
Alrighty, this is small news, but could be bigger. In June 2021, Wizards of the Coast filed for the trademark on the word Netrunner. They had leased the rights to this to Fantasy Flight, who made Android Netrunner, which they announced early last year or the year before that they were canceling that. Now Wizards of the Coast has it back, and it's in the categories of downloadable electronic games to be used in conjunction with computers, console gaming devices, and wireless devices. In other words, is a Netrunner app on the way?
100% sure that a Netrunner app is on the way based on this trademark application.
No,
100%.
sometimes people buy trademarks to stop other people from getting the thing. So I would say 99%.
Sure, but Wizards of the Coast putting this out, especially since they're now part of what they call the Hasbro's. It's called Wizards of the Coast and Digital Gaming. I think that kind of says that it should be an actual electronic game coming out. Probably.
Well, I hope it's an endless runner.
Well, speaking of Wizards of the Coast, they're sponsoring an English football team or soccer team. They're sponsoring the Leyton Orient FC. It's an EFL League 2 soccer team. I don't know anything there. I think I heard all those words in Ted Lasso.
Wouldn't that be great if Wizards of the Coast becomes part of Ted Lasso's episodes?
They've got all kinds of.
That'd be a great crossover thing where, like, you know, you have the people from Wizards of the Coast, Ted Lasso going up against some guys slinging some Magic the Gathering cards. That could be real funny.
Well, apparently this Leyton Orient logo has a pair of wyverns standing guard on each side of the ball, so that kind of works with the Magic Fantasy brand.
Oh, that's funny.
There you go. It says now we might have Magic logos on sportswear. So who knows?
Huh.
Suddenly all the nerds are rooting for one of these football teams.
I love it.
All right. Dog Lovers coming out. Not a huge fan of that title, but this is from David Short, and it looks like it's a sequel of sort to Cat Lady. He's the designer of that. There's another card game from AEG. That's pretty much all I know at this point. But Cat Lady's a nice filler, easy game to play. So I'm looking forward to see what David did with Dog Lover.
Yeah, I'm sure this is going to be a good game, but I have to say that box really looks like a prototype box.
Well, so did Cat Lady. If you saw it, Cat Lady looked the same way.
I don't know. This just looks real. This looks like placeholder artwork to me. I don't love this cover. If this is,
I'm pretty sure that art is from David Short. So when I talked to him about Cat Lady, because I criticized the art pretty heavily, and then I ran into him and found out he did the art. He mentioned that he had done the art, gave it to AEG as a, on his prototype, and they were like, "Yeah, that's good," and used it.
Oh. Okay.
It's pretty funny.
Let me look up. I want to see what the cover of Cat Lady is.
No, I like it. I like it. I think it's endearing, and I like David Short. So I like David Short. So I'm not going to criticize him. He's a great guy.
David Short's a fantastic guy.
I think the cover of Cat Lady is 10 times better.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cute. Canine card game. I love the way the little subtitle.
Prospero Hall put out a Goonies board game, like a one versus all style game. Well, now there's another game coming from the op called the Goonies Escape with One-Eyed Willie's Rich Stuff, which is a great name.
Yes.
This is a Coded Chronicles game. So far there's 2 Coded Chronicles games. There's a Scooby-Doo one, and then there's one based on The Shining. And they are essentially adventure/escape room style games. So I think the Goonies is a good fit for that.
Definitely.
All right, cool.
And finally, if you have been hunting on eBay looking for the out-of-print, difficult-to-get Star Wars Queen's Gambit game, nothing is changing. You're still going to have a hard time finding it. But you can buy the Queen's Gambit based on the recent Netflix TV show.
That's funny. I did not, when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is cool, because that TV show was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen Queen's Gambit on Netflix, definitely see it. It did not dawn on me, Star Wars Queen's Gambit, so.
It is a little odd.
Imagine. Go ahead.
This is fascinating. What is this game?
It's weird because you would think I would slap Queen's Gambit on just a chess set.
Right.
Here,
this is not just a chess set. There's a chess set. There's a chess board looking part of this, but then is it just a puzzle solving game, or you set up a chess scenario and solve it? Is it a Sudoku-esque?
No, you have to.
Is it an area control game?
No. You are moving
planning.
chess pieces on the board, capturing stuff, and by capturing them, you claim cards. You didn't see this because it's in the Lost episode, but she played it in Germany after she left Moscow in the final episode. She stops in Germany, plays this game, and no one understood it, so they took that. This is all made up, folks, in case someone's taking it seriously.
Yeah, it's completely made up.
It's a weird thing here, but you know this is going to sell. I do wonder what chess players are going to think of it. I'm very curious on that.
This is I mean, I'm gonna just say this straight out. This is an epic fail because no one is gonna want to play a game.
Know yet.
No, dude, I'm reading that you play cards to plan out your chess moves. It's I mean,
I'm gonna play this with Bonacor now. It's on my list.
Listen, on your turns, you're planning 3 moves in advance by laying down cards upon which the chess pieces are depicted. On your turn, you reveal your first card and move the gambit piece according to what is depicted. Chess is a great game, not our style game, not I don't play it, but it's a great traditional game. And our games are great, and they're trying to marry the two, and it looks really bad. And I'm sorry because the Queen's Gambit, the TV show, is amazing. See it.
I'm gonna make a prediction that in 50 years, no one's gonna play chess, and everyone is gonna be playing Queen's Gambit.
And the good news is, Bonacor, you won't be there to see it. All right, that's the news. Let's keep moving.
I'm here.
Crazy Car! I can't believe you came to visit me in Italy, in Florence. We haven't seen each other in 2 years, Car. How have you been? No. First, what do you want to see in Italy? Do you want to see the Colosseum, Venice?
Let's play a game.
A big zebra! In Wildlife Safari, players alternate turns playing 1 animal card per turn, and with animal type and a value going from 0 to 5, and then grabbing an animal figurine which doesn't have to match the card you just played. Cards will be played on top of each other in each animal's column, and you don't need to follow an ascending or descending order. Once an animal has reached 6 cards, his maximum cards limit, all the cards have been played for 1 animal, the game is over, and only the top card for each animal will tell you that animal's figurine's corresponding value, which tells you how many victory points each figurine would be worth it. Based on the number and types of animal figurines that you have gotten through the game, you will be awarded victory points and you might be the winner. Crazy Car, how do you win this game?
In your initial hand, you'll be looking for the high and low cards, which are the 5s or the 0s. That's not going to necessarily allow you to win the game, but it gives you guidance to how the animals can play out towards the end. And you're going to be watching what your opponents are grabbing for animals, of what they hope to score at the end of the game, and how they play their cards. Because this game is all about information.
Thank you, Crazy Car. Wildlife Safari, Botswana, check it out. Hello! I'm with Crazy Car. I'm not an African animal, but still.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen, the board game librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes in my segment from the page to the table where I pair books and board games together, and I get to wear an awesome shirt that superfan Melanie sent me. Hooray! Thank you! Today we are looking at a young adult, new adult series by Erica Johansson called The Queen of the Tierling. a somewhat nebulous time period that this takes place in. It very much felt Middle Ages to me, where we have a young woman who is going to ascend to her rightful place in the throne. So I'm going to read a line, which maybe you can guess. As an epic war draws near, Kelsey's quest to save her kingdom and meet her destiny begins. So I wonder what game I compare with that, which is Middle Ages-ish, fantasy. I'm dropping things. Oh, it's Destinies, and I lost my book. It's great. Destinies by Lucky Duck Games, 1 to 3 players. You, of course, need your app to play this game, but here we have Middle Ages, we have somewhat fantastical elements, and we have a very story-driven game. Not a lot of romance. We have played all 5 scenarios of this game, and I really enjoyed it. Could be in my top 10 for the year. But I love that it's got an RPG flavor to it, story-driven elements, and the tile explorations, items that you're getting. It's and very atmospheric, kind of like that the book on the floor is as well. So take a look at Destinies and Queen of the Tierling. That's all for this week, friends. Happy breakfast.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We have a contest, if you missed it at the very beginning episode, for copies of Cora from Yellow. So go check that out. Don't forget to sign up for Dice Tower West to come out and join us. We have a live thing. We'll be back here at 2 o'clock to talk about our favorite Marvel movies. So, we're ranking all of them. Yes, it's our fantasy episode. And we're also going to talk about DC. No, we're not. Talking about DC movies. Anyway,
DC is science fiction, from what I understand, right? DC Comics, that's science fiction. Marvel is fantasy.
The fact that we would rank the DC movies is actually the fantasy part. Anyway.
Touché, sir.
Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Stephen Bonacore.
Have fun playing chess.